All right, time for our Ask the Authorities segment. Today we're talking with Utah's Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox. Thanks for being here, Lieutenant Governor.
It's great to be here, Brian. Thank you.
So we got a number of issues that we want you to weigh on in here today.
Okay.
And it's kind of a cornucopia of questions, if you will.
Let's do it.
All right, so here we go. We start off here. We're talking about sports betting. It's been in the news recently with the Supreme Court clearing the way for this now to be legal in some states. You know, obviously Nevada is one of them, but you've gone on record saying that Utah won't be participating. It's not going to happen here. Why is that?
Well, a lot of people don't realize this. So it's not a real surprise the Supreme Court overturned this. It was kind of weird that only one state got to have gambling and nobody else did. But they said, no, everybody should have that opportunity. In Utah, what most people don't know is it's actually part of our Constitution that gambling is illegal.
So written into the law?
Written into the, the Constitution, not just a statute that the legislature could change. It would actually take 2/3 of the legislature to vote to change it, which would then put it on the ballot for Utahns to vote on. And getting 2/3 of a pretty conservative legislature to get that on the ballot in the first place, I think would be a stretch.
So really, you're just taking the temperature of the room and saying, you know what, it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, not anything I'm saying yes or no. It's just I don't see it happening anytime in the future, near future.
What we do know is that Utah has been really great as far as our economy. We continue to be able to do well in business. This next question talks about that. Can you tell us about the growth in Utah? How does our state continue to be a leader in the economy?
Well, I think the answer is clear. We have a great lieutenant governor.
Right.
I'm joking.
Give credit where credit is due, apparently.
The truth is...
Humility is your strong suit, I believe.
Clearly a joke. We don't take credit for it. The truth is that we have an incredible entrepreneurial class.
Okay.
And we're seeing this influx of jobs coming internally, but as well as outside. The people want to live in Utah. It's a great place to recreate. We have a great business climate here. The laws, our tax laws, are interesting for businesses, and it's bringing people here. The growth we're seeing is across the board. What you don't know is not only did we lead the nation in job growth last month, we've led the nation in job growth the last 2 years, and we're also the most diverse economy in the country. So it's not just Silicon Slopes, which is fantastic, but it's the finance industry, it's the hospitality industry. We're seeing growth across the board, and it's truly impressive.
Before we go, I don't know if we have time to be able to go through and give you the full answer for this last question, but if you want to be able to find out what's happening with the Lieutenant Governor, people want to know. You started a podcast. First, tell us what it is, and then tell us what is about the podcast, what do you focus on, and why you decided to be able to get out there and air your grievances on the air?
Well, it's called Cox and Friends. You can find it on iTunes or Stitcher or anywhere else.
I wonder where the name came from.
It's just a little play on words. But it's me and some of my friends, and we just talk about things that are really important to Utahns. So this past episode, we actually talked about the medical marijuana initiative. Sure. But we get into the really important stuff, like why In-N-Out Burger might be a little overrated. You know, the stuff Utahns really want to know. I'm a Five Guys guy, so
I had to figure there. Okay, so
good stuff.
Where do they find the podcast?
iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, anywhere you get your podcast.
And called Cox and Friends. Of course, we're talking with Utah's Lieutenant Governor Spencer Cox. He's one of our Ask the Authority experts. You see him right here on Good Morning Utah. You want to ask any of our Ask the Authority experts questions? Of course, you can do that online. We've got it right there for you. Just email your questions to gmu@goodforutah.com. As always, the full interviews will be available online. But today, Utah's Governor Spencer Cox, thanks for being here this morning.
It's great to be with you, Brian. Thanks.
You too.